Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. We are continuing with our Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon Crawl. This is episode 76. The Halls of Arden Vul is by Richard Barton, and we are using the Old School Essential System by Gavin Norman. My name is John. I'm your referee for the evening. Going around the horn, Mike is dead to us this evening, but let's not count him out completely. We'll see if he may actually pop in. But other than that, going around, we have
David, you're muted, man.
We were all waiting with bated breath.
Well, this is good because it means that he didn't mispronounce anybody's names like I did.
Hey, there we go. My name is David. I'm playing Upior, for a sliver of a second level magic user.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt. I'm playing Avaricios, the left hand of Lysion.
Oh, who knows?
The golden-faced left hand of Lysion, at least for now. Level 7 cleric.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted, and I think I'm going to start out playing Titus Valerius and finish playing Mortis J. Gobliano because you can't keep a good goblin down.
There you go. So you can probably see on the screen that we have some different names up there than what they actually announced, but that's what is projected that they will be playing once they head out of the debauche to continue delving. So, but we shall see. All right. So let me go to my notes here. It is the 10th of Gelenios.
Oh.
They have arrived. It's actually a new day, although we are going to be backtracking prior to the rest. So I guess technically it's still the 9th. But when we pick up play, it will probably be the 10th. They have hauled back using ingenious their new rugs of instant access, using the word viator, traveler, to transport a wealth of goods, both from the tomb of Toristus and the tomb of Prior Jacobus, massive hauls of treasure back to the debouchement, and themselves as well to get back there. So with that return of all of that sweet, sweet cash, we have probably the single largest leveling up event yet in the campaign, which is fun for everybody. It's even more fun because we have decided to, I guess it's not so much adopting a house rule, but actually getting rid of a rule as written, which is we are now going to allow level skipping. So there will be no more XP waste. And there will and if you gain enough XP to actually jump a level, then go for it. I don't necessarily think that this would be an advisable house rule to have in every single campaign of classic D&D you run, but for the purposes of our Megadungeon Crawl, we don't think it's going to. We think it's pretty much a win-win. So let's do it because it's going to be a lot. So we have level ups for Elizabeth and Sam for the retainers. And we also have level ups for the following PCs: Titus, Bregi, and Upior. So let's do the PCs, shall we? Except for Bregi, because Mike is not here. So Upior, you want to go first?
Why not? Let's do it.
So Upior was second level. He received enough XP to skip third entirely, and he is now fourth level.
Dang.
Which is pretty sweet. And I think that should be the tale for most of us. So fourth level is not a bracket change for magic users, unfortunately. But you do gain 2d4 hit points plus your con bonus twice. You're muted if you're talking.
I am not talking. I'm finding my D4.
Okay.
Praying. It's the triangle-y one.
Praying. I have found my D4.
Okay.
All right. You ready? 2d4. The first is a 1. And the second is a 2. So that's 3 plus my con bonus of 0. So it's a 3. But you know what? That brings me to my favorite HP level, 10.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay. Cool. And your spells increased from, you had 2 first level spells, and now you have 2 first and 2 second that you can cast.
Nice.
We'd love to see it.
So you think about what spells you want to memorize for the day. We'll get back to you.
Cool.
Ted, Titus.
Hello there.
Has also raised up from a lowly, were you second level?
I was
You were
first.
First, you can't even cast spells. Now you're fourth.
Fourth level, baby.
Yeah. So you're not quite the arcane power that Upior has, but you get
No,
all
no.
that nice little elf shit too. So
Right.
it is a new bracket for you though, Titus, which is huge. So first, let's do your HP. It's going to be D6. So you're going to roll 3d6. Whoa! All right.
Okay. I rolled a 4, a 5, and a 1.
Okay.
I have no con modifiers, so I'm going to add 10 hit points.
What does that bring you to?
14.
Nice.
What the hell, man? Come on. Come on.
Okay, so you can cast 2 first level spells out of your spell book. Okay. And then you actually move to the next bracket. So your base attack bonus goes up to +2 from +0.
Yeah.
And then your saving throws, it looks like all of them go down by 2, except for spells, which goes down by 3.
Yep. I got some good saves. I got more hit points, and I have 2 spells, which is very, very nice thing to have.
Yep.
Always wanted to cast a spell.
So you also think about your spells, and we'll let Matt at least handle the Elizabeth upgrade. So, and don't forget, Ted, your damage die also increases. So you'll get D8 for damage. All right. So Elizabeth, what level has Elizabeth achieved, Matt?
Yes. So I take a lot. I'm really, really proud of her. We brought her along from level 0. She was just hired to carry a torch, and she's come so far. Yeah, right. And now she is entering level 6, a level 6 druid. She's going to get a 5th level spell slot. She is absolutely amazing. I'm very proud of her.
6th level. Okay. Did she raise 2 levels or 1?
Just 1.
1. Okay. So she's already in the new bracket. So give her a D6 hit points.
All right. I haven't been doing well, but this time I'm going to turn it around and give my girl a 3. Okay.
3 plus con, if there is anything.
Yeah, she doesn't have a con bonus, so it's just 3 straight. So it's going from 19 to 22.
Okay. And she can memorize 1 additional 3rd level, and then she gets a new 1 5th level spell. Okay.
Right. So she is going to, for her 5th level, I think she's going to take protection from plants and animals. There are a few different things that we're looking at going forward with it, where that might be useful. Mm-hmm. And for her 2nd, 3rd level, it's funny, like for so many of her spells, you have to be outside. Mm-hmm. Like half of the 5th level spell book isn't even available to her. But for 3rd level, she's gonna take what would be good. You can
think about it.
Well, she'll do. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Okay. David, did you figure out what Upior's spells are going to be?
Oh.
You don't have to right now. David? So let's switch over to Sam.
I'm going to keep
David.
Yep. David, if it helps, I can tell you what I want to take. Which is
I only have 1st level spells that I know, though I have 2 slots in either now. But what do you want to take?
I was going to take Charm Person and Sleep.
You should definitely take those.
There you go.
Okay, so David, Sam has risen up to what, 4th? That's what I said, 4th. Right? From 1st, which is huge. So roll 3d8.
All right. Same. First roll is a 2. 2nd roll is an 8. Ooh. 3rd roll is another 8. Okay, 16, 17, 18 plus a 2 bonus. So a 20 more HP. That brings her to
No, it's more than that. She gets 2 from con.
2 per.
Yeah, so up to 6.
That's true. Yeah. So 6. So that's
26.
26. So
nice.
36 total HP Sam now has.
He's coming for you now.
At least until the rot gets her.
Okay, so here's the other things that change. She gets a +2 to all of her attacks now.
Okay.
In addition to her strength, her basic attack bonus raises by 2. And then all of her saves are going to go down. Are you ready to change these?
Yep.
All right. So the new line straight down is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in order. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And in addition, all of her weapon damage is now a D10 because she's a fighter. I also want to make a reminder because Sam is literally the only fighter. Oh no, and y'all's a fighter too. that don't forget that fighters have the cleave ability with my house rules, so that's a thing. Okay. So Ted, you're doing charm and sleep, and then all we need to know is Upior's spells.
I'm so waffling. Marionette, and I think I'm going to ditch Protection from Evil. I'm going to replace it with Chill Touch. And remind me, I can use higher spell levels slots for first level spells, John?
You can.
I can't. I know. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have any second level spells in your spell book?
0. I need to memorize some.
Okay. You need to scribe some, is what you mean, right?
Rather, I need to scribe. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely it's got to be a priority. You don't want to. Okay. So, all right. So that was massive. We still have to do Breggy, so let's not forget to do that. If Mike shows up, we'll just whip that out real quick. Breggy, I also believe, is also a 4th level dwarf now, which is pretty cool. All right. Don't forget that Sam and Elizabeth both have mummy rot, which you do not know how long that's going to affect them, or how long they actually have. And yeah, that's I think that's it for setup. Now,
It's pretty serious.
Before rest happens, I need to know from Avaricios: do you remove the mask before going to sleep?
Well, John, here's the thing. When we come back, he is going to be feeling amazing, right? Huge treasure haul. This was a big win. Very, very celebratory, right? He ordered up from the Goblin Marketplace, Joe Beam, the Goblin down there who runs the thing, ordered up drinks for everybody, singing, drinking songs to Lysion, just like really laying it on thick. He's very thankful. He's really into it. I can't imagine that he would do anything else but celebrate as much as he could with that thing on because it's so cool.
Okay.
And he'd probably pass out with it on.
Okay. So the party, we've determined off screen that Joe Beam's stock down in the Goblin Halls of Hack's Mushroom Ale is 2 silver pieces per pint. And we just decided to round that off with the general number of people who would be imbibing here and how many they would be having. We're giving it a nice round cost of 30 gold, which I believe, Ted, you've already marked on the treasure tracker, right? It's spent. It takes about 2 hours for the goods to arrive because you have to send a messenger down, which takes an hour. And they got to bring it all back up. Probably actually take a little bit longer, probably more like 3 hours, but whatever. You have a great time, and you're nearly finished shrine to Lysion, serving as your bar. And you're well and plenty drunk. You're feeling pretty great. Everyone's pretty loose and all that kind of stuff. And you bed down. You have the mask on. When you bed down with the mask on, you're not really sure at the time because you're pretty reeling from drink and revelry. If this is a figment of your imagination, but you have a feeling down the pit of your stomach that, no, this is probably very depressingly real. You get a psychic impression of Thoth speaking to you, not Lysion, and Thoth speaks in, and it's more. You kind of make words out of this, but it's much more of like a divine sort of revelation sort of thing. But in essence, these words are spoken to you in your head. Avaricios of Epirenus, in the desecration of my most beloved and exalted servant, thou art cursed to walk in blindness through halls consecrated in my name, so long as you bear my crown. Wouldst thou bear the epithet of the Tauristus, and redeem thyself? Recant your misplaced idolatry, and take the seat of oracular power. Mysteries and wisdom shall be revealed unto you as you assume the mantle of true faith. Bear false witness, and you and your progeny will be cursed unto the end of time. Okay?
Okay.
With that message, there is an understanding that comes to you that the phrasing that Thoth used, although it wasn't in actually the form of words, but the use of the words "the Tauristus" is as if it was a title And that title means something to you now. It's in the secret language of the priests of Thoth, which is sort of like a pidgin version of ancient Archonte, of ancient Mithric. And Toristus actually means beloved of Thoth.
Okay.
And you get the distinct impression it's sort of like the equivalent of like a pope.
Oh. He wants me to be his pope?
And you had learned too that Toristus, as he was known, had an actual name before he assumed that title of Neus Ricturnus. So it kind of makes sense. All right.
So is he basically saying you have to recant Lysion and become a priest of Thoth, or you'll be blind forever?
As long as you bear my crown. So you fall into a deep, drunken slumber with that weighing upon you. And when you wake up with a headache and a hangover and all that kind of stuff, and you realize that you still got the mask on, and you kind of open up your eyes in the, I don't know, wherever, in the shrine or in Mortis's room or something. And you're like, where are the torches? Like, where is there no light? And then you're like, what's going on? And you kind of hold your head and you stand up and you look around and you can't see anything. Completely blind. You can hear noises around.
Oh, that's not great. Mask is still on.
Mask is still
I'm
on.
going to try to take that mask off, John.
The mask comes off easily. And the moment that it clears like your eyesight, the holes kind of raise off your eyes immediately wink, and you can see again. Your sight comes back.
Okay. Here's a when I couldn't see anything, when I first put the mask on, I had the weird heat signature, the infravision.
Mm-hmm.
Was that still going on, but there were no torches, or I couldn't see anything at all?
You couldn't see anything at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't see any secret doors. Can't see heat.
Yeah. I'm gonna step out into the main area of the debouche, look down that hallway that goes to the west, like that straight shot, because I know that there's that secret door that leads to like we call it the tentacle pool room or whatever. I'm looking that way. I'm gonna pull the mask back on.
When you put the mask back on, first, the blindness still occurs. You can't see anything. In addition, there is a massive psychic weight upon you, so massive that you actually stumble and have to take a knee real quick, because you are feeling the anger and disapproval of not one, but two gods at the same time. The only thing that you can kind of hear in the depths of your soul is a slight tittering male laughter.
Oh,
at least I made somebody happy.
As Laryl seems to be quite happy with what's
I was going to say. I had a feeling Laryl was still around. How many minds can collide in this psyche?
I know it's hard to portray like you as Matt, but your character Avaricios is kind of it's so weighty that it's bordering on like I'm losing my mind, right? Like there's a real problem going on in your head right now. You're being torn by 3 different entities, basically, plus your own. So 4.
Okay. Yeah. I've. It sounds vaguely familiar. I've had multiple deadlines, multiple bosses going on before. And I should say though, to be clear, when you do put the mask back on, you do feel wiser when you put it back on, and that's about it.
But you can't see the secret door.
You cannot.
I can't see anything.
No.
So okay.
But it looks cool.
It looks very cool.
You are in a section of the halls that is consecrated in his name.
This is true. And what he said that I have to. What was the prescription again that I have to do?
Recant your misplaced idolatry, and take the seat of oracular power.
that chair probably that we were looking at before. Which, if you're a priest of Thoth sitting in that chair, I bet you can talk to Thoth more easily.
Mysteries
Is
and wisdom.
anybody else around, or is Matt having his little crisis of faith all alone?
No, everyone's doing his thing. Everyone's waking up and goblins all around.
Or like Mort walks by in a bathrobe and slippers, and he's like, "How you doing, Av?" And
yeah, yep.
Oh, I tell you, man, this is really not great. And he's really hoping this is just part of the hangover.
Just to be clear, this is not the position that Jacobus had. So when we talk about the throne, we're not talking about the one in the coral room. We're talking. We don't know which throne, but that was.
I think we're talking about the one that looks out over the
Plunger Town.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're talking about the one in Plunger Town with the big.
Oh,
where we met.
I think you're probably right.
Oh, the God Throne.
Like oracular power.
Oh yeah.
Oracular power, an oracle.
That is.
You know what it is? It's the God Phone. It's not
the God Phone. That's what
not the ruby. It's the God Phone. Oracular power is to see the future, to ask questions. So if you are a true believer and you wear this and look and go into the God, people are like, maybe I am a religious man. wait a second. Here I was forsaking all of this as a corpulent worshiper myself, but maybe there's a point they have.
So how greedy are you? That's the big question. Are you greedy enough to change religions for a gold mask?
And there could be no like, you as a player, you do whatever you want, but I just mean that your character would actually have to be devout. You have to be a real. Now remember too that it's a dead religion, right? Like there's no extant worshippers known. Maybe the small little section somewhere, something like that. But he's saying, give up your new god, recant. You don't worship that god anymore. Worship me, and I'll give you. I'll show you things that you've never seen before, and you'll have the full power, and you will be the Toristus of Thoth.
And until that time, just like me, Matt, mechanically, the thing is that if I'm wearing the mask, I'm blind, but otherwise everything else seems to be the same, except Lysion's mad at me.
So if you are wearing the mask, you're in big trouble. Let's put it that way. A lot of bad shit will happen. If you take it off and don't use it, you're totally fine. Like Thoth is not Thoth is not saying like you need to do this or I will smite you. He's just saying if you want to wear that mask, you need to do this.
Okay. I was a little worried about that seeping in. Because right now his faith in Lysion is strong. Like he went to bed last night, praising Lysion. So Thoth has got to be pissed. But right now his faith is rock solid in this. He's like, oh well, shit, it was a very cool thing, but no, it is not worth it. It's not worth it. And so he's taking the thing off for sure.
Do you share this with us, Avaricios? What happened?
Yeah, sure. He tells you, oh man, I put this thing on. No, man, Thoth goes right into your head, and he's really, really pissed. He's kind of a dick.
I have a
between you and me.
I love this.
So,
a couple quick thoughts. Sorry. Ted.
Yeah.
One, as an out of character thing. If this was written in the module, brilliant. If John, you just made this up, brilliant. I don't. I'm not looking at your face. I'm looking for. Love it. Having said that, if our supposition about Plunger Town and either of the thrones is true, we also know that there are a number of frescoes. Certainly, our characters remember the details of which I do not. But does this shape, and if you don't want to answer, we can go look, right? But does this shape to us harken back to any imagery we saw wound
You mean
down
the
there.
mask shape?
The mask shape, yes. In the representation of the apes and their sort of like human
No,
counterparts.
The only
or anything
place
like
that you've seen the representation of this mask is in
Mhm.
the single depiction of Toresis you saw in the place where you got the mask.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was
That's
a
good to know.
Yeah, because
pretty well, you could easily see the resemblance.
he died like what, a couple thousand years ago or something, right?
Correct. Mhm.
And he's
Yeah.
been
Yeah,
sitting in
Arden
this
Vul, yeah.
sarcophagus with this mask on ever since. That means only one of the high priests has ever worn it.
Yes, but it was
The
soon.
others never wore it.
I shouldn't say. Yeah, no, it was actually pretty soon after his death that the worship of Thoth as a church, as a religion, faded. Right, that was basically gone. Well, no, I guess it was actually quite some time afterwards. But regardless, yeah.
I mean, they got through 53 high priests or whatever down to Jacobus.
Those
Right.
were priors, just to be clear. That was the different sect. That is the college.
Oh, right, but it's still Thothian, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like Jacobus was not like the high priest of Thoth. He was the first
No.
prior. Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm
No, I
saying though.
understand.
Is like they've lost their Toristus and the
Mhm.
mask when this guy died, and they never. It's not like the mask got handed off to someone else, so
Correct,
Yeah, they buried it.
you're
with
not
him.
going to see it painted around anywhere.
Sure, it's quite right.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's at all in the cultural memory. Do you mind if I see that, Avaricios?
Oh, please! I'm having a really bad day, and it's
Sure.
because of this thing. So please be my guest.
I'll,
I thought it was cool. It's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
terrible.
I'll pick it up and I'll kind of turn it around, look at it. I'll hold it up to my face and go. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
um,
Laro loves it, Avaricios. You do.
Yeah,
He does.
but what I'd like to do, because we're in the debouchement now, right?
Yes.
No, we're not. Oh, we are. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
I'd like to walk over to Trefco and say, Trefco, my large friend, ever wise, a memory old and communicated through your peoples. Does this object mean anything to you?
No,
No.
never seen.
We should make him the high priest.
Do you want? I was gonna say, do you want to put it on?
It no fit.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true. Well, ever helpful, Trefco. It's been a pleasure. And I'll
Breakfast
kind of-
soon.
Oh, of course. And I'll reach into the 2 remaining rations I have, and I will give them those. Give him those.
He like kind of takes him, but you could see him like looking over
He's
at the
like-
2 goblins that he actually wanted to eat. He's kind of sad. Okay.
Sorry, Trefco.
I like
I'll
them
look for better
wriggling.
I'll oh, you know what? For Trefco, is there any? Oh, this is devious. This is sorry. I don't want to get too much tangent. Are there any fresh corpses around, or bodies of any consumable type? You think?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Oh,
Everything's pretty kosher here in the debouchement, actually.
Yeah. Can I cast Marionette on a ration wafer? I was trying to give him a little, vaudeville theater, a little puppetry, so he'd feel a little more prey instinct, But I guess
He like instinctively just smashes it with one of his hands, like a bug.
Yeah,
He's like, whoa! Doosh.
yeah, for sure.
I have a
Okay.
question for Av.
Yes.
Yes, which is-
go ahead, please.
Do you like, as you've explained what's just happened to you, Mort is wondering whether this was because you were wearing the mask or because you are a cleric, follower of Lysion, right? Like, what did you get some sense of Thoth wouldn't care if someone else put this on? It was because you were consecrated to a different god that was the big issue, or what?
I think it would. I think, my friend, it was probably 2 things.
Sure.
Probably, I did quite a number on his favorite guy. Yeah, I feel kind of bad about that
Totally
still.
desecrated that corpse.
Yeah, just a bit, a little, a little desecration. It's bound to happen. But yeah, I think it was both of those things. I think it was that, and that I'm Lysion's guy. He's maybe sees him as kind of an upstart, the new, the nouveau gods. He doesn't like them. But no, I tell you, it's not me. I didn't get the sense that anybody else couldn't try. Do you want to try it on?
Well, here's the thing: it's like when we many sessions ago, when it was me and Mike, and we went through that one room not far from the fire portal that had all the statues, and we fought the snakes, and then like in the mists of time, Thoth spit a little message out of his mouth. Ever since then, I've been sort of toying with the idea of like having Mort like fully embrace Thothianism, and so he's vaguely intrigued about what the mask promises, but I don't know if I can be multi-class, goblin priest, or if it matters, or what. So
I'm just on and see. I mean, I didn't hear anything from him until I spent quite a lot. I accidentally fell asleep with it on, but
right.
I first put it on. It was just cool, and you can take it off and put it back on. It doesn't work for me anymore.
Faith, by the way, and piety is not gated by class.
Sure.
Yeah.
But being a pope of a religion might be. I don't know.
Well, there's only one way to find out, Mort.
I am super curious. He's only level 6. What the hell? Yeah, I'll put it on his head.
Okay, you put the death mask of Avaricios over your head. It's a little bit large on your smaller frame, a little bit comical.
Ears sticking out the
side. When you do put it on, you receive the same benefits, of course, but the improvision, of course, is not doubled or anything like that. That doesn't actually occur. But you do not turn blind. You also do not feel any sort of psychic impression at all. However, you do gain the abilities. So your wisdom your wisdom raises by 1. You can. Did I go over the mechanics of this? I'm not sure, but
it was wisdom by. Yeah, it was wisdom by 1. It was infravision, and at least as far as we were able to check out, we could see secret doors, but we don't know if there's more or less that you can see.
So I'm going to say that, and I'm doing this in retro, like I probably should have done this when you first put on the mask, Matt. But I'm going to say that the mask imparts what it can do. Like you become readily aware of what powers it has. Wisdom +1 as long as it's worn, and then you get improvision 60 feet. You get your ability to detect lies and deceit is greatly increased. So if you always get a save versus spells if someone is like lying to you or trying to deceive you. Okay. Then I would probably roll that in secret, obviously. Or if you had an intimation, you could probably tell me to make that. And in addition, your ability to detect illusions, you actually gain that ability. So if there is an illusion present, you can make a save versus spells to disbelieve it, and you get a +5 to that roll. So a huge bonus to that saving throw to detect illusions. And then I made a mistake when we first did the true seeing experiments last session. It does impart true seeing as the spell, but it can only be done once per day, and you have to command it to do so. Like you have to say, like, I'm using it, right? So it won't trigger at the first. Yeah, it won't trigger at the first sight of a secret door. You have to say, like, I'm looking for a secret door using the true seeing ability, right?
Gotcha.
And that would be it for the day. Still very powerful, but much more doable.
Well,
not always on true sight.
The detect lies and deceit alone means I should wear it to the meeting with the beastmen.
It is very flamboyant. Right? This
you're
is not a typical helm. There's just no hiding the fact that this is obviously a power, like an artifact of some sort. If it's not magical, it's at least antique and it just stands out. You would be the first thing that everybody looks at in the room.
Well,
which is why I wore it all night.
Mm-hmm.
He'll take it off and stuff some newspaper in there so it fits a little better. But I don't know, guys. I mean, I can. What do you think?
If you don't want to, I can, or we can just figure it out later. I like the idea of Mort having it. It's a fun idea to have like a goblin Thothian. I like this. But if you are anxious about wearing it, having the mage in the background might be a little less conspicuous. I mean, it's Brad. Obviously, we should use it somehow.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah, one of you should wear it. Or we might want to pass it around because it sounds like if you use it, I mean, if you have it on too long, if you use it too much.
Which is weird looking. Like it's weird looking and awe-inspiring, but also sort of off-putting, right? Like you see the picture of it, right? It's weird looking.
Yeah.
So there's no real fading into the background, David, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like if you're
I mean if Upior, but I don't want to take it from Ted. But my point is, if you're having second guesses, Upior would take it, but I'd rather you have it if you want it.
I am not having a second guess about it. I'm more trying to decide what's the most sensible
you can even just carry it
in use,
right? You don't have to wear it right now. You can put it in Laryl's sack or in your pack or anything like that. Even Avaricios. I think Avaricios isn't going on the delve, but whatever. I'm just saying. There's nothing happens if you just carry the mask. Like everything's kosher.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's think
my one point would. I think we should think about it. But my one point would be, which I'm sure we're all thinking, the passive benefits, even outside of True Sight, are great enough that we should probably use it more than we don't. So I don't love the idea of it sitting in a bag 70% of the time. I'd rather take the risk of like getting killed because I'm wearing it and have it as like a truth scene thing in most random interactions we might have with other humanoids. Than not. But again, let's think about it. There's no pressure to decide now.
One question: does it take a slot?
When you're no, I don't think it does. Yeah, when you're wearing it.
Okay.
If I would say if you carry it, yes. If you wear it, no.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have no objection to if it's like, oh, you're blind, you must go see the throne. Then Mort will happily do it. It's because like I said, I've been thinking about it anyway, kind of. Because I don't know, I feel like he's been wandering these halls and he's seen some really cool shit that Thoth has been doing, and I've been toying with it anyway. So, but if you think it would be a really cool feature for your wizard, then I don't either way.
I mean, it's cool no matter who's using it.
This thing, like I'm full transparency, like 100%. This is not 100%. A like edging or a competition. Like full transparency, I think it's a very cool item, and I would like the party to use it as much as they can.
Yes, agreed.
I also totally love the idea of Mort pursuing that inclination.
Fine.
My version of that would be like, I've rolled an MU who's obsessed with death, who has like a dead coin mantle he wears. So the idea of a dead religion could work thematically too. It's an interesting idea to resurrect a religion through a necromantic character. But I don't need to steal your thunder. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, but I just want, as long as it gets used, I'm interested. Okay. But also, I don't think we have to decide that now.
Mortal hold on to it until the circumstances dictate otherwise. Cool. These Arcantian gods have never done much for the goblin people. Maybe Thoth will.
There you go. And I also don't want to just remove Avaricios from the equation, right? There is an
also very interesting for Avaricios.
Yes, exactly.
If you want to change religions, man, you can have it back and be the Pope.
We'll keep it in mind. Right now, he is. This all came on really sudden. But for him, no, it did not shake his faith at all. He's still the same guy that he was before. This is, this is a temptation that he's resisting.
Okay,
great.
But I'm here for you if you need it though, Matt, and you change your mind. You just let me know.
Thoth sounds a lot like you, John. Thoth sounds a lot like you.
I'm just saying. On to more pressing matters. Also in the morning, after you sort of resolve that whole issue, you see that Sam and Elizabeth aren't looking too rested and chip. I should say, like, they've got the hit points from their new levels and all that kind of stuff. But realistically, they wake up and they're looking a little bit paler than normal. The rot has spread a little bit up their legs. And it's not looking great. They both claim that they are totally fine for adventuring. Put me in, coach. But it appears that the rot is not getting better.
So they got whatever they got from their level up, but they didn't heal as they might expect from an overnight rest. They didn't get feel a little bit like they don't get the one hit point that they would normally get from.
They do. Like, so hit points are good. Okay. I was just saying abstractly, yes, they gain all the benefits of leveling up, but I'm just saying the rot, the disease that they have has not been gotten better in any way, shape, or form. It has gotten worse.
All right.
Do you do anything to attempt to remedy that?
Yes, I would like to do that. We'd spoken, and Avaricios, in his drunken, before he got too much in his cups, he was going to ask Upior if he could use his arcane abilities to kind of detect the kind of magic that's on this wound. Obviously, it's a magical wound because magical healing didn't heal it.
Sure.
But he couldn't. He's interested in knowing if it seems more like the magic of a curse or seems more like the magic of a disease, because in the morning when he wakes up, he can pray for, one or the other of those. If your arcane abilities can tell you anything about this, I'm a little stymied.
Makes sense to me.
I will attempt to do so, and if the result is unknown to me, I'll lie.
So you're using the
Go
detect magic ability?
I will go to Sam and say, "Dearest Sam, may I inspect your wound?"
She says, "Sure," and you cast detect magic on it. Takes a turn, and the conclusion is, after you cast it, that indeed the wound glows magically. That's it. I mean, that's all it detects is the presence of magic. There's magic there.
Okay, not the kind. Okay.
Yeah.
May I speak to you in private for a moment, Sam? I'll say as I role play with my own retainer. Just 1 second. Sorry.
Sam, I just
I don't want you. Just a reminder, I have my edgelord special character trait is that I have a strange mild scent of poppy on me, and I'll just let that sit with everyone. And I'll say maybe I keep petals in my chainmail. I'll say, dear Sam, all of us must choose the road we travel. And though I have great faith in our priest friend that they may cure you of whatever aberration infects your leg, should you want, you can choose your destiny, whether that be the removal of the leg. I'm sorry to say, but you're a strong person.
She's like, fuck that, no.
Okay. Of course. And I would have the same response. But if you cannot heal it, I have a deep suspicion as a man who's looked at many mummies, and not just the one that bore me, if you know what I mean, that this may necrotize upward. And should that happen, I want you to know, you don't need to answer me now, that sometimes we must kill a part of ourselves to grow stronger. And I have faith that you will no matter what. And I'm going to walk away.
Her mouth is like agape as she watches you walk away. And she like calls out, she's like, you have the worst bedside manner ever.
But I smell great, don't I? And I chuckle and I close the door.
She like immediately comes back out into public and she's like, Avaricios. She's like, where's Avaricios? You've got to have something.
All right. I do. I have my theories, and do not worry. I have something I think will work today. If it doesn't work today, I have something else I can try tomorrow. All right. So we're going to go all in. So I guess my first question, John, is when he prays to Lysion, he's going to emphasize. Yeah, he's going to emphasize how crazy that thoth guy is.
Okay. Okay.
He's like, listen, the mask was cool. I mean, you agree, it looked cool and it looked good. It seemed like a fun time. It seemed,
Hey, listen, you can cast commune and literally ask your god, "Are you cool with me?"
on the 13th, I can.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he did last night when he was nakedly dancing with nothing but the mask on after that third keg of wine.
When you remove the mask, you were able to get your full thing of spells. So what are you going to attempt to cast on Sam or Elizabeth?
He's going to attempt cure disease on both of them.
Do you can memorize?
I have
two of them?
two level 3 slots. So I'm going to do cure disease twice, cast it on both.
Okay.
All in.
All right. So when you cast Cure Disease on both of them, indeed, as you do so, the wounds heal. You can see a look of relief wash over both of their faces, and they thank you both, and they offer a donation of your wages to your growing shrine, and they do a shot in honor of Lysion.
See, that's probably even better than the first. But yes, please, and it'll teach him a fun Lysion drinking song.
Cool. So they are both healed. They no longer have the mummy rot. Cure Disease did seem to do the trick. So well done.
Oh, great.
Okay.
No lasting effects that we can tell?
Nope. They seem to be all right.
Good.
Okay. So all that said, I think
Sorry,
that
before we get into the thrust of things, John. Sorry. I have I have few spells. I don't want to do too many spells here, but if memory serves, the new spell transcribing rules say that 1 uninterrupted hour per spell level allows me to transcribe a spell. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would like to transcribe a couple real quick, if that's okay.
Sure.
Phantom Armor.
Okay.
Which was in the it's a level 1 illusionist spell, I believe. We got out of the bone scroll case by the cephalopods. It is not a. I don't think it's in OSC native.
I mean, it's a level 1 though. That's all I'm asking.
I believe so. I think you said it was level 1 in the notes. That's what I had written down.
Okay.
I'd like to do Magic Mouth. That's a level 2.
Okay.
And I've been scrubbing through everything else, looking for other level 2 spells. Isocritus had something called Pummeling Fists of Arakzor, which was a second level MU spell that fills 20 feet cube with flashing fists of air. I kind of want to add that one as my other second level slot.
That's cool as hell.
And I'll just leave the rest for, I don't know, off camera, because there's a lot of spells we have now. But
were those off of scrolls or from books?
Okay, so the Pummeling Fist of Arakzor was out of Isocritus's book. Okay. Mm-hmm. Magic Mouth was off of a scroll, and Phantom Armor was off of a scroll. Although, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So two scrolls and one
the
book.
Scrolls that you pulled off of those are destroyed whenever you transcribe. Okay. If that spell was on a scroll with multiple spells, then the scroll is not destroyed, but the spell that was on it is gone. All right.
Okay.
And
Ed, I didn't realize that. I forgot. Just making sure that's okay with you that I did that. I don't want to take a spell.
So basically, destroy those 2 scrolls. Obviously, the one from Isocritus stays in the spell book, obviously.
Right.
And you had already used Read Magic to decipher that book, so that's fine. Or actually, it probably wasn't Upior, but whatever, it's fine. And over the course of the night, you were able to spend some hours transcribing those spells, so you now have them.
Thank you. I'm going to memorize Pummeling Fist and Magic Mouth as my 2 second-level spells, and I'm going to replace Chill Touch with Phantom Armor, please, as my first. Sorry for the confusion there.
No problem.
Cool.
All right. So I think this is so we're already at our first break point. We have yet to go adventuring. That's okay. We have lots of cool stuff happened. So we're going to take our first break. They're going to figure out what the composition of their party is and what they're going to be doing with that party. We will be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. All right, so after that whole drama with the Death Mask of Toristus and curing everyone of mummy rot and all that kind of good stuff, I'm going to say, like, in the morning, it's probably about 9 a.m. before you're like ready to go back out on Delve. So say like an hour passed with that whole drama of Avaricios waking up. So who is the Delve party going to be, and where are you going to go?
Mort wants to lead the mission to visit the beastmen to finalize the treaty. I have the ring from the Goblin King, and I have his instructions.
Very good. Okay, so we're going to knock that one off if possible. So seal the deal with the beastmen negotiations with the Goblin King, West Keenum. Is Wolford going to be accompanying, or is Avaricios going to be doing?
Yeah, Wolford was part of the original party, so he wants to go back. And plus, I want to go get that damn treasure we saw. I can't. I'm waiting to get my share.
Oh,
I mean, there was the cool chests and everything. We were going to go back and get it. I came back and I took a nap, and so now I'm rested and ready. And let's just we can talk to the animal people, whatever the hell they are, and then we can go get my money.
Nobody tell Wolford about the drawing Avaricios put on his face when he was asleep last night.
That was Laryl, man.
I know it was Laryl. I haven't forgotten about Laryl.
You can always use it.
He just
Mort's going to have to explain to Wolford Mort's going to have to explain to Wolford about taxes. All that money's gone, buddy. Sorry, that's civilization for you.
Damn Archon sticking his fingers in everybody's pouches.
Civilization. Okay, and David, I assume you're playing Upior. You're not going to switch to Holden, right?
I'm playing Upior, but FYI, I have taken my chainmail off at last, and I have also stored Jacobus's vestments and taken my 10-foot chain back. So those are my inventory changes.
So robes, it is for now, right?
Yeah, I'll just keep my regular robes.
Okay, you still fill out the robes very nicely. All of you guys are very impressed that even divesting himself of the chainmail, he still looks pretty rocking.
I am out of rations, so I need to re-up on those if we want to.
Actually, yes. Mort has only one. Oh, that's not even Mort's character sheet.
I gave him to Trefco.
Mort has none. No, he does have. Oh, I'm good. Mort's fine. Mort's happy to go delving.
Okay.
All right. So, and what retainers are you taking, if any?
I'd like to keep with Elizabeth. She's just so dang handy. If that's cool with you guys.
That's fine.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave Sam unless we need Sam. Do we need Sam? 4th level, 36 HP isn't bad, but
I mean,
for what we're doing.
Well, because she still has the Setite armor. Was she there when we first met them? I can't remember.
No.
Was she?
No. She was not.
Maybe you better leave her behind.
I think we should leave her behind.
Elizabeth, are you taking Trefco to these delicate negotiations?
No.
Just asking offhandedly. Okay.
No.
Okay. So you guys want to bring Njal, or are we good with just Elizabeth?
Well, I thought I might. If we want one more retainer, I'll bring Gangrene. Otherwise.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
It's good for the ambassador to have his assistant. It's
poor Yost just working in manual labor, just building the
defenses
with this strong armor. Everyone's forgotten about Yost.
No. Okay. He's a natural born carpenter. I'm sure of it.
Okay, so just Elizabeth is going out, and there was something else.
Gangrene.
And Gangrene is coming. Okay, Gangrene's coming as well. Very good. So we have a small goblin contingent here. All right. So the last question I have before you head out, if you're going to be going to the Beastmen, is you have a certain Beastman prisoner named Barrios that is in Mort's chambers right now that Trefco is guarding.
Oh, yeah.
Are you taking Barrios with you?
No, we can't. It's too evil.
He is a sheep-headed Beastman deserter.
I protect sheeps.
So here's the thing, guys. I was back looking at what Waskinam is asking, and it's kind of a lot. Divest from the guard station, cede the Great Hall to the goblins. The hall becomes a neutral zone. Removal of the barricade, and that's a lot to ask of the Beastmen. But I wonder if giving the sheep-headed deserter back would be, a gesture of goodwill. Not for the sheep-headed guy, obviously. He's ours, to set free or return to the Beastmen as we wish. It's kind of rude to throw him to what is probably certain death, but on the other hand, Mort's not real keen on deserters.
Oh my God, is Mort a fascist?
It's a legionnaire.
That was a rhetorical question. I think it's a very sound argument, and I'm not one to play good characters. However, good in scare quotes. However, I do have some apprehension about giving prisoners of war to leaders we've never met. I think, barring any knowledge of Mother, bringing his head on a stake is hazardous. I would consider it after meeting Mother.
Fair, although we have met what's his name, the Colonel or
Goebbels, yeah.
Scleros?
Count Scleros.
Count Scleros, yeah.
Which, as far as Mort is concerned, is, that's the person who I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Well, I have two thoughts, two suggestions. One is if I'm remembering correctly, he deserted because of doubts about this whole Mother person, right?
Yeah.
Doubts that I think that as players we kind of share. She sounds super sketchy. Everybody that's ever described her sounds like, yeah, something's really weird with Mother. So there's that. So he might be useful in terms of information on that front. The other thing is there's one other thing that we could use possibly in place of him as a little more grease on the beastman wheel, which is Njal is still holding that little box of beastman cocaine.
Oh, yes.
A little box of white powder that we know that they're super into.
We don't know that that's what it is, but it's pretty good odds, I think.
Pretty good guess. We think that that's what it is.
Yeah.
So maybe we bring that as a little bit to kind of sweeten the deal instead of him. Maybe.
I agree.
Just throwing it out.
I love that idea. And I'd also throw another idea, lest we forget. We have an enormous hoard of gold that is going unused.
That's true.
Enormous hoard of gold, the best use of which is securing these alliances. Giving a giant pile to Mother isn't a bad offering. We have plenty of chests we can fill. You know what I mean? And it's the most, to meta, I guess, a little bit, it's the most faction neutral or like neutral to positive thing we could offer. In other words, it's not like altering the nature of the information we have, per Matt's point, because we don't know anything about Mother. This cheap person might be our favorite character in this entire Beastman army, for all we know, once we find out what Mother's all about, right? And so gold is an easy, like, initial bartering chip. I don't know. I mean, just thoughts. All these are really good points.
You can just throw it out there as like, we know removing the barricade can't be, we're going to pay for the removal of the barricade. Just us, AV Club.
Well, yes, exactly. Here's what I was going to say: is to phrase this as this, and count. The king is not in a position to make this offer, but as a gift from me, from our club, from us, I want you to have this. And should you ever fall out, remember that we were here in good faith, and
very smart. Very smart.
So
very smart.
I'm down with actually a cash gift and saving the sheep guy for later.
So how much money are you bringing?
So if I go to the party expenses, and Mort gets out his little ledger book and puts on his little half moon glasses there, and let's just see what it says here. It looks like our massive bribe to where did it go? The tribute to the king was 10,000 gold. So I would say no more than that, but
I think we give the same amount. Yeah,
we could give the same amount.
I think giving more, if he got wind of it, if there were any agents, I don't know, like the sheep who conveyed to the Goblin King that we give more gold to the Beastmen, it would probably rock the boat. So I think we give the exact same amount or less.
I think I think it might be risky to even give the same amount as we gave to the king. I say we give like 5,000 gold is a lot of money.
As long as you put that beastman cocaine kind of at the top of the chest when you open, you go, I've got enough.
There you go.
Do you have a page number for the cocaine?
I think it was before we were doing that, but he got it when we were on the Trials of Arden level. It was in like the soldiers barracks or the officers. It was like an pull up his sheet.
Yeah, hold on. I can find it here. It's about session
44, 45.
Wood box with white powder from the barracks. That's session 44. So that's just inside the Trials of Arden level. I think the second or third room we searched after we left the Pentarch's room at the bottom of the long stair.
Okay.
Not the long stairs, but big stair.
Not the long stairs, but a set of long stairs that came down from Clement's asylum. Okay, so oops. Oh, geez. Okay. I need another monitor, guys. I don't have enough room for everything on my screen.
No, we find too much stuff.
The beastmen. All right, so 5,000 gold. Fine. And a box full of cocaine for people with really large noses.
Okay.
Made out of mushroom coke. Which hopefully is not just a box of ashes of some cremated.
It's actually the other Pentarchs. Yeah.
What the hell are you snorting? I don't know, man, but I don't think it's good enough.
I still have Laurel's ashes in a pouch in our stash, by the way. So anytime we need to use them, along with that, what happened to the finger bone? I think I gave that to you, didn't I, Mort?
Finger
We did
bone.
a lot of stuff with that finger. The finger that was stabbed through with the knife. That one.
Yes, that was.
Yeah.
All right. The only thing I'm seeing that is a powder is there was it was a reddish powder.
A teak wood box.
Teak wood box, not the officers' barracks, the other barracks.
Teak wood box with a white powder. It was worth 75 gold.
Yep.
From the bunk room is what I say.
Or bunk room. Yep.
Yeah.
Bunk room. Okay. Give me 1 second. We'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. I just had to look up something that I could not find, but now I've got it. So I know the nature of that white powder now.
I hope it's what we think it is.
All right. So, okay. So you got how much money were we taking? 5,000?
5,000.
5,000.
Okay. And how is that being carried?
Great question. I forgot we don't have the sack of laurel.
We have a giant wooden chest and a girdle of giant strength. So put 5,000 gold in it, and I can carry it, perhaps. I don't know. Would it fit in a chest? And could I carry it? I'm not.
Well,
the rules of the girdle of giant strength are still a bit vague to me because it's not an actual strength increase. It's just a sort of analogous strength thing. Correct?
Yeah, you could carry it with two hands, I would say. But I would say we're probably going to drop you down a movement tier.
Fine by me. You want me to take the back with the gold, guys?
Well, we could just take a rug with us, and when we get close to the beastmen, you could step through.
I don't want to risk those rugs if we don't have to.
All right.
I do have both of them on my inventory. I'll leave them. Sorry,
okay, so the rugs are not being taken?
Okay, fine. We'll leave the rugs behind. We'll just go slow. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. What? No, David, speak up.
I just like having them with us as an adventure solve, but it is risky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair.
I mean,
it's just a mission to go meet with a count. We give him some money, we leave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll leave them in the stash for now. No rugs.
Fine.
Okay.
And we'll just carry the coins. Great.
All right. Upior hoists the chest. A little bit slow going, and you jingling and jangling. The troop moves off. You head south, and you're not stopping anywhere weird. So let me get the map here for folks. Okay. So you head down south. You go past the in between the two magic mouths. Head through that door into the barricade room. No one there. Hop over the barricade. When you move, let's see. That's you're moving at 60 now. So
Yeah.
let's see. We'll call it 6. Call it 3 turns by the time something happens here. So 9:30 a.m. How are we doing for light?
Did not think about that.
Your hands are busy.
God, I did fill my bullseye lantern. You'll recall from the oil flask in the tomb, so it is full, so we can use that.
All right.
Okay.
Wolford can carry it if you want to give it to him. He'll carry it.
Gangrene should carry it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we want Wolford's hands free.
That's Gangrene's lantern. Okay.
Gangrene has Upior's lantern. Yes.
All right. So mark off a oil flask.
No, it's already full.
No flask. It's already full.
Oh, it's already full. Okay. All right. So after 3 turns, slowly lugging this thing down through the corridors, you enter into the north-south passageway leading south from the barricade room, and you know that there is a door on the western side to your right, where the beastmen had stopped you. And indeed, again, they come out and they recognize you. It's the same people that you recognize from last time, and they say, "You've returned. You bear word from the king."
And in his Thothian fashion, he will hold his left arm out and keep his right arm down, and Mort will say, "I bring word from the king of the goblins to Count Scleros."
Excellent. To the great hall. We shall escort you.
Marvelous.
Okay.
Upior, do you want some help with the chest? We get the beastmen to carry it.
I want to do a show of strength. Just
Okay.
a dude carrying a giant. I want it to be pretty clear. There's a very tall person with a giant chest that he's about to drop.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So you so they escort you down south through there into the antechamber, then out through those double doors into the great hall itself. Now, as you enter the antechamber, you can see that there are those arrow slits, those spy holes, I should say, like on the northern side. You can see knowing that they're there, you can see that there's movement behind them. And as you enter the great hall, the 2 horns blast a triumphal sort of note as you enter into the halls. And you can see that in the great hall, the pillars are still, destroyed and all that kind of good stuff. But there's also additional pieces of stone that were not there before, that are sort of in small, discrete little piles, relatively. Yeah, they do seem to have been carved in some sort of way or shape or form, but now it's kind of unrecognizable to see what they are. But those are also, in addition, new. Your eyes are naturally drawn towards those 2 horns as memories.
Yeah, they are.
Flood your vision for those who sat in the seat. I guess that would only be who? Is anyone here? Did anyone here do that?
Avaricios did.
Oh, so
But
actually
he's not here.
No one here did, actually. It was Avaricios.
No,
No one here
no,
did. Yeah.
Yeah. But hearing tales of what occurred, your eyes are naturally drawn towards those trumpets. And
This is the part where Mort will put the mask on.
you put the mask on?
Yeah.
Okay. When you put the mask on, Mort,
Yes.
having sort of reconciled to yourself, like, this Thoth guy isn't such a half bad guy, right? And you put it on, you don't get any sort of well, let's see what sort of happens. You get a reinforcement of what your beliefs are sort of tending toward. And you feel sort of a compulsion that yes, indeed, I think this Thoth guy has it, is, it's where it's at. And
He is the thrice-born illuminator and the bringer of truth and revealer of mysteries. So
and then Wolford and Upior, when you see him don the mask, your eyes are naturally drawn to it as well. You look twice and you kind of shake your head, as like that wasn't there before. And you look and you see that, how like the mask has like golden locks right? Sort of, it's like formed in the shape where there's like actual golden locks. You see that there
Uh-huh.
are two small little points of ears poking through the locks, shaped in gold, but definitely weren't there before.
That's
Sweet.
weird. I'd get that thing off your
Love
face
that.
before it's too late.
Okay, so as the trumpets announce, you see coming through. Let me just double check here which door it is. I believe it's. Let's see. Right. Okay. So through the southernmost of the eastern barricades, the doors open, and Count Scleros comes out with a great retinue of beastmen. He's got sort of like that schnauzer sort of head, right, like a big shaggy dog, as he comes out, and he's in full regalia. He's looking at every inch the count. The men are like regimented in lockstep as they sort of come out and form a protective barrier right behind him, with their spears, and they've got the banner of the beast of the Tagmata behind them as well, the mailed fist. And he smiles gruffly at you and he says, "Oh, it's good to see you after such short amount of time. How are you, friends?"
We are well, great Count, and we come with good feelings and faith among our two peoples. I bear news of the king.
Is it good news?
It is, my lord. He has made me his official ambassador, no longer merely an emissary. I am now here to treat with you with the voice of the king, and I hold out the king's ring.
Ah, excellent. And he kind of takes it and looks at it and hands it back to you. Indeed you are. Very good. Well then, as an official ambassador of the King West Kingdom of the Goblin tribes, it of course becomes you to speak to Mother. This way, please.
Certainly, my lord.
So, barring that, you all move into the. So he basically takes you back through the way that you come, and he says, as you kind of step through, beyond your best behavior, you are entering our territory now.
Wait, back. We're going west.
You're going east.
Go east.
Into Beastman.
We haven't been that way.
No,
when you
have
said
not.
back the way we. Okay, I misunderstood.
Back the way that
the way
they
he came from.
With the way they
okay.
came. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was confused about that too.
Right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let me get my map out here. I've got gangrene mapping for me now, I guess.
Right. Okay. So he takes you through. He doesn't seem to be in any sort of rush, really. But he's not idling either. And you're basically surrounded by beastmen on all sides. So if shit goes haywire, just realize that you are completely surrounded by beastmen.
Nice
That's never
safe.
happened before, John, so I'm not worried.
There's no precedent for this at all.
Jeez.
So you're taking into a chamber. So there is an additional
southeast corridor.
This is the southeast corridor. That's correct.
Okay.
Heading directly east, there is a 10 feet beyond that barricade before there is another solid wooden door. Remember that there was sort of like a sally port here, right? But there's another door after 10 feet. And that they open that up and you enter into a square chamber that is 30 by 30. You are entering in directly in the middle of the western wall. And there is a clear 10-foot wide egress and like an archway that leads directly across the room out to the east. All right, there does not seem to be any other egress in the room. The room itself appears to have it's small, relatively small and cramped. There are a lot of rickety wooden bunk beds that are arranged in rows across the floor, and there are some of which appear to be like made for sergeants that are single beds as well. There's no table there. The banner that is hanging appears to be a lot newer and less tattered than the banner that the Scleros had brought out before. And I don't have the information for it, what exactly the field is, but they tell you that this is the chambers of the ovine conturbs. This is the which is basically means sheep company. Okay. And don't forget that they name their companies after certain kinds of animals, but that doesn't necessarily mean that only those animal-headed people are in those conturbs, right? So it's like a meritocracy. So
Right.
any kind of beastman can belong to any sort of company. It's just the companies to have these sorts of different kinds of flavors.
Yeah.
Sheep company. I'm just going to sort of narrate this instead of like Sclero sort of telling you. It's also something that you kind of glean from the beastmen in the room, kind of telling you what they're about, sort of thing. So you're kind of being introduced to like how the beastmen sort of operate. The sheep company that you're in right now, they are the most junior company with the youngest and the least tested troopers. So you got a lot of spunk, but you got a lot of carelessness as well, right? There's the least amount of discipline for these guys. So they're a little bit more nervous. They have a little bit more machismo, that they like a chip on their shoulder, like kind of overly aggressive sort of thing. So you get a lot of like guys like kind of getting up and grabbing their weapons. And then Scleros is like, no, calm down. They're guests. We're just moving through, gentlemen. Back to your duties. And you see like some of the members of his retinue, which are from other companies, sort of like laugh at them a little bit, like give them sort of derisive looks, like you're not, you junior guys, young pup sort of thing. But you see a mixture of sheepmen, goatmen, dogmen, and pigmen. One ratman is here. And there are 3 sergeants, all of who are actually goatmen. So that's what you get in here. There is a stone chest that's next to the door, a water barrel, weapons rack. And they have... they don't have that too many spoils because they're not that tested. So they've decorated their chamber walls with... surprisingly high quality painted images of giant beastmen spearing a variety of enemies, including goblins, humans, and weirdly enough, what is obvious from the paintings, Faramani, trolls. Okay.
Brave claim.
Yeah. Just some flavor for you, just letting you know. But
Okay.
the men are all there and they're kind of resting and they kind of get up and all that kind of stuff. Squirrels puts them down and he takes you east. And he says, this will be a much more delightful sight to your eyes as you move east out of the chamber. Goes 10 feet before opening up into, unfortunately, a very strangely shaped room. So much so that I have actually written notes about how to describe this to Ted. So,
all right, this is Attack on FX and inside the episode.
It's shaped like a dog, isn't it?
It's actually like right angles. It's just that the angles are sort of it's not like a clear rectangle. So it opens up into a chamber that is 40 feet east to west, straight ahead from the corridor that you're in. Okay. So you just probably want to like demarcate. After the 10-foot corridor, there's 40 feet east to west directly in front of you. Okay.
Yes.
There is 10 feet north to south. 10 feet north to 10 feet north to south by 20 feet east to west portion to the north, just past the entrance corridor.
Wait. So if I come out my 10-foot corridor, I've got 10 feet to my immediate north.
Yes. And it's 20 feet east to west.
From that corner.
Yes, from that corner. Exactly.
Okay.
And you can see that there is an arrow slit on the northwestern portion of that north wall where you can clearly see that there is light coming through that arrow slit. Like steady light coming from that arrow slit. Okay. In addition, there is a 10-foot north to south by 30-foot east to west portion to the south, 10 feet past the entrance corridor. If that makes sense. Yes, you got it, Ted.
A little
Nicely done.
zigzag.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that ends in the southern portion with a door on the eastern wall.
All right.
Okay. Now, if you connect those lines with the extent of the 40-foot directly in front of you, you can kind of see the shape that I'm kind of looking at there. Right?
So I'm at the entrance, 10 feet to my north on my left side.
Yep.
It goes 20. Then does it come back down south by 10 feet?
It does, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then so it's sort of like someone's merged a 20 by 20 room with a 20 by 30 room.
You got it exactly, Ted. That's exactly right.
Okay. And there are no other exits?
No other exits that you can see.
Okay.
Well
All right.
done.
Cool. Well done.
Thank you, John. That was that made a lot of sense.
Good. All right. So along the southern wall, it's completely lined on the southern wall with wicker baskets. All right. And there are sleeping areas here, several small tables, and these small wicker baskets that some of them have like their lids off and all that kind of stuff. But lounging around here, and actually much to your shock, maybe titillation, maybe repulsion, you see that there are a number of female beastmen, scantily clad, draped around this room. And some beastmen soldiers are partaking of their particular delights in little corners of the room, shall we say. Quite freely and without any sort of modicum of modesty or anything like that.
Are they rutting, would you say?
You would say that. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got Goblin Fecundity and Beastman rutting surrounding us.
Yeah. Well, it's not like it's like being in like picture a scene from Game of Thrones in one of the brothels, or the Conan the Barbarian orgy scene, right?
So I was thinking more of the orgy scene.
Yeah, it's not like Eyes Wide Shut, like like weird. It's just
John, it's weird, John. It's weird.
John, could you please differentiate for us for about 20 minutes between Eyes Wide Shut weird and
yeah, exactly.
and weird?
It's very clearly a harem. Okay.
Where does it fit on the Caligula scale?
Yeah. But there are cushions and silks and all that sort of stuff, and they are taking advantage of it. And so Scaleris looks like very proud, like no modesty or like worries that you're going to be offended at all. It's just sort of like, and here's our harem. You like kind of walks you through.
So John, do the Beastmen women need the bikinis with several different cups, or is it just like the standard 2-cup?
Yeah,
bikinis?
to be clear too, these are human in every way, shape, or form except for the heads.
Okay, just checking.
Yep.
I'll tell the Count.
John,
you must be very proud.
We are indeed. Yes. He kind of looks at you like, I don't really understand what you're talking about, but you see, you have to like grab Gangrene by the neck as you kind of pull through. Just a minute, boss. We stay a little bit longer.
Just
yep.
Are there guards watching this?
In the room?
In the room.
No. But
are there any bindings or insinuations of coercion?
Nope.
Or like that?
Or nope, none at all. You do see that the females themselves appear to be very capable. Like they could probably put up a fight should shit hit the fan. But they do not. They are not restrained in any sort of way. But they do seem to be like their chambers. So you are quickly hustled through there as well, through that door in the southeast. You can definitely hear strange chanting and foreign language coming from beyond that slit in the north through that light. But you are hustled instead through the southeastern door into a long chamber. I should say, too, that all of these halls are lit with torches, just so you're aware. Well lit. Everything is immaculately clean so far, right? And you walk into this corridor. It is a long, torch-lit long corridor heading directly to the east, and it goes for 50 feet before opening up into a long, wide corridor. So after 50 feet, it continues going for 70 feet, all directly east. However, that section of 70 feet is 20 feet wide, and the additional 10 feet are to the south.
So it just widens like at a hard angle?
Yes, at a right angle. It widens to 20 feet to the south and goes for an additional 70 feet. Okay.
And the walls so far, John, have been like all Arcantian stonework.
All Arcantian,
same.
yes. Mm-hmm, exactly,
Okay.
Yep. Definitely repurposed Arcantian stone. Down the middle of this wide hallway is a series of pillars.
Every 10 feet?
Every 10 feet, yes. Should be like 6 of them. And let me see here. The corridor itself is arched supported by, and each of the columns is about 4 foot in diameter, so they're pretty large. And you can see here that there is a chief trainer and 3 assistants. The trainer as a dogman, staff sergeant, and they are engaged in sparring and practicing unit tactics here, kind of using like the pillars as cover, things like that, to kind of train military sort of stuff here. There are numerous old shields, dulled weapons, and bins along the south wall, and it appears that they themselves actually sleep in the southwest corner. The trainer appears to have like a really nice looking flanged mace as well, and they're just kind of going at it. Like you could probably hear like the banging of weapons like as you kind of approach from the harem into this area. So and they stop, and they, by the way, every time like Scleros like walks into the room, everyone stops and salutes. The women didn't, but the soldiers do. Okay, so there are numerous egresses out of here. Okay, first of all, there is a solid door directly in the middle of the eastern wall. All right, there is
the eastern wall. Okay,
on the eastern wall. Yep. There is a passageway leading north, which is the direction he's going to take you. That leads directly north at the far end of the eastern end of the chamber. There is, and then there are 3 narrow 5-foot wide corridors, all heading directly south. One, going from west to east, there is one 15 feet from the western side. Okay.
Okay.
There is one that is 35 feet from the western side. And there is one that is 55 feet from the western side, so 15 feet from the eastern side.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay.
So equidistant from each other, right?
Yep.
Now, the furthest east one is actually a stairway that leads up.
Ooh.
But not like a level up, but just a slight rise.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I take back my ooh.
Yeah.
Any other exits on the north wall?
No other exits on the north wall except for that passageway leading north.
And okay.
So this is like the training area, very well organized. That whole thing, like and they all stop as Scleros sort of walks in, and he takes you to the north. Before we go into the northern quarter, let's take our last break of the evening, and we shall return soon. Okay, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. All right, so they at this point, Scleros rounds you that corner to the left and to the north, and he basically tells you as you're walking, we're going the most direct route, just so you know. There's much more to this compound than you're likely to see. Depends on how this meeting goes, of course. I should warn you that as we are about to approach Mother, and he kind of draws you aside so like his men can't hear you talk to him, and he just takes the AV club itself, and he says, when you meet with Mother, of course, politeness and deference goes a long way. She's like to offer you something to drink, but you should politely decline. I'm just going to tell you that.
What are we thirsty?
Thank you. Thank you, Count.
And then he takes you north. You go north through a corridor that, again, Arcantian stonework for 30 feet directly to the north before it opens up into a square chamber. This chamber is 30 by 30. You are entering in directly in the middle of the southern wall. Numerous egresses in this relatively small chamber. The one that you notice immediately is that there are massive double doors on the western wall, starting about 5 feet up from the southern wall.
John,
Yes.
before we go any further, can I just clarify? So between the training hall and this room is a 30-foot corridor.
Yes.
Okay. And good. So I didn't put this in the wrong spot. Where's the double door? To the east?
Double doors are on the western wall, about 5 feet up from the southern wall. Okay.
Like a five, like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There are 2 doors on the eastern wall. One is in the southeast corner on the eastern wall, and one is 10 feet up from that. But they're not double doors.
Gotcha.
And there is a single door on the northern wall directly in the middle of the wall. It looks like there has been a significant effort by the beastmen to remove a paint that was originally here in Arcantian times. The paint is bright yellow, and it was studded with pale blue and white ibises. However, you can see that there are numerous scratch marks, but it looks like, and God knows how long the beastmen have been here, but it looks like their efforts to actually take off the paint have been met with fierce resistance from the paint somehow. Like the paint job is still very, very vivid. And you can see the beastmen as you sort of, your beastmen retinue as you enter this chamber actually sort of flinch as they sort of walk in. Like they really don't like the aesthetic appeal of like this room at all for some reason. They just don't like it. In the northwestern corner of the chamber, your eyes light upon something that you have seen and that you treasure greatly, is a round, foot-tall ring of stones. Yeah.
Teleport circle?
Indeed. Oh, and speaking of which, since there was some confusion about this, if you zoom out of your map, we'll show everyone here. I actually have I found an interior illustration in Arden Vul of a teleportation ring. So if you zoom all the way up and you go up to my little handout pictures there, I put the Death Mask of Toresis up there, but you can actually see an actual artistic representation of what those look like with the activation squares.
That makes a lot more sense.
So they
The
are
activation squares are
so cool.
much larger than I imagined.
Yeah, those are actually supposed to be square, not rectangular like there. But I think otherwise it's pretty realistic. So it's all made out of stone, and only the tiles are the keys that activate. Okay, which are not present in that show.
That's super cool.
Okay, so
the tiles are much smaller. Okay, so that's
in
in the northwestern corner, you said?
In the northwestern corner, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right. They seem to pay it no mind. The beastmen don't seem to really care. There's no furniture in this room. Count Scleros tells you that this is supposed to be their common area. Like Mother basically designated this for us, but we just don't like it in here, frankly. And I think it's to Mother's. Mother appreciates that anyways because she doesn't like a lot of noise coming from her chambers. And he gestures to the left, to the west through the double doors. Beyond is Mother. I will accompany you. The rest are not permitted. Remember, be on your best behavior. Politely decline all offers of drink.
Okay.
Best of luck to you. And he basically knocks on the door in like a sequence of some sort, and then he himself opens up the doors wide. And if you have nothing else you want to ask him, or you're good to go, you're going to go into the room. Are you okay with that?
I'll thank him for his sage advice.
He's coming with you, but it's obvious that he's probably going to be quiet. Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Oh, and I've just ask him. Count, you've been very considerate in preparing us all for the etiquette and protocol. If I should stray or do something you regard as foolish, I beg of you, give me a little poke or something. I certainly do not wish to cause offense.
Probably a good idea. I will stay at your side, Mortis.
Thank you.
I have a quick, just clarification question. Is Mort still wearing the mask, or did you just put it on for a second? You still are? Okay.
No, I've got the mask on. Yeah.
Okay.
I am the emissary of the Goblin King.
Okay. So, but yeah, I'd forgotten that you were actually wearing that. So they, that actually is kind of important. So since you put that on before you entered the Great Hall, and you've been wearing it the entire time that Count Scleros and the Beastmen are with you, you notice that as you've sort of traveled through, every Beastman that you come into contact with, men, women, doesn't matter, rank, doesn't matter, a lot of them seem to recognize and can't fathom quite like what they're looking at, but they recognize it, and they don't understand like how this could possibly be. But you know that classic Looney Tunes thing where Bugs Bunny plays
Leopold.
Yeah, Leopold. Yeah, you get like a Toristas. It's the Toristas, and it appears they are quite aware of what who Toristus was, and that this is a mask that looks like him, right?
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, and they just look flabbergasted. They don't laugh at your short stature wearing or anything like that, but they definitely seem fascinated, and they recognize what that is. All right. But Scleros doesn't tell you to take it off, right? You do what you got to do, you know. So you enter in the
You do what you got to do.
okay.
The least ominous of John phrases.
Let's do the banal stuff first. I'll just give you the dimensions of the room. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, a lot of shit going on here. A very, very large chamber, go figure, presents itself to you. It is bathed in a soft yellow continual glow. It's quite pleasant in here. It is a large, is it square? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it is. A square chamber that is 50 feet by 50 feet. You are entering in, because the doors sort of straddle a line, Ted, right? You're entering in right on the 30-foot line, like right in the middle of the, I'm sorry. Let me start over. You are entering in on the eastern wall, 20 feet down from the north, 30 feet up from the south. Okay. 50 feet by 50 feet. And there is a single door that leads out of here, other than the doors that you entered into, which is 10 feet up from the southern wall on the western wall. Okay.
It's the only break in the walls.
That's the only thing that you see.
Sure.
Even with the mask on.
Well, I haven't activated the true seeing yet.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You have to do it on
I'm
purpose.
strongly inclined to do so in this room.
Okay, so
let's see what Mother looks like first.
Those are the basic dimensions. Soft yellow light bathes the room. There are low pastoral sounds, pleasing tones of a sung ballad. There is enticing odors of roasting meat that are wafting out of the door. You actually probably would have smelled that when you entered the common area. The hall itself is about 25 feet tall. The upper register of the walls, like way up high, still bear evidence of the room's original function, of what appears to be a Thothian audience hall of some sort. There are images of ibises, baboons, magical symbols, and cylindrically hatted priests that form a frieze along the upper register. There are smokeless torches, so obviously magical, that burn in sconces along the walls, giving off the light. They appear to give off some heat, but they don't give off any sort of smoke, so there's no smokiness in the room at all. There is a 20-foot wide by 15-foot deep dais that occupies the north wall, right in the middle of it. On top of that dais, there is a huge king-sized bed. And the floor of the entire chamber is covered with large overlapping carpets of vibrant colors and dynamic patterns that muffle the sound in the room, right? It gives it a really real cozy sort of vibe. There, along the walls, stand stiff, mummified remains of 25 human beings, all still dressed in archaic armor and festooned with colorful silk ribbons. Strangely enough, or maybe just right in line with what you kind of pictured, there are a number of actual goats, pigs, sheep, dogs, and rats that wander tamely through the chamber as if they are domesticated. They are the actual animals, sort of wandering around, bleating, making their noises, snuffling around. Some of the dogs come up to you and lick your hand, that sort of thing. So it's this juxtaposition of coziness and warmth and pleasantness, and then there's sort of like this barnyard thing with all these animals sort of wandering around. Then there's like the horror of seeing 25 mummified, armored men that are kind of arrayed around the walls. And then even more strange, there are, actually, let me roll. There are 4 naked males, human males of varying ethnicities, that are lounging idly in the chamber, all naked, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, and looking every inch like playthings, right? There are a series of 5 bronze tripods that bubble merrily. Strangely enough, though, those tripods, those braziers, don't seem to have any sort of heat source at all, yet they are bubbling, all of them. I should, yeah, exactly. On the eastern wall, there is a wooden armoire painted with a cheerful blue color. There is a 10-foot trestle table with benches that occupies the center of the chamber, and on that trestle table, it's set with pewter plates and settings and silver goblets. There are bowls of fruit that are overflowing, plates of marinated meat that are steaming and giving off the best smells, and bowls of pickled mushrooms that temptingly fill the entire table. Lots and lots of mushrooms all over the place. All right. And lounging upon the giant king-size bed is an extremely attractive, nut-brown skinned woman with raven hair and black eyes, completely and utterly black. No whites at all.
Mommy.
She is dressed in a loose tunic of pale yellow that she is secured with a large belt, and that belt is studded with huge, massive, large pearls. And she wears a huge, big opal ring on her left hand as well. And her hair is like a cloud behind her as she sort of like lies upon her on her pillows. And she gazes up at you, doesn't blink ever, but a pleasant smile spreads across her face as she gestures idly for you to enter the room. What have you brought for me, Count? My, a handsome group they are. Array yourselves before me.
Yes, twirling his mustache there. So Mort will step to what appears to be a sort of an appropriate distance, and he will first give a legionnaire's salute and then a courtly bow and introduce himself as an ambassador from the King of the Goblins, King Waskinum, and then hand the ring back to the Count so that he can show it to Mother.
The Count bows, and he presents the ring for you, Mother. And she takes it and looks at it, and she kind of slips it on her finger. Ah, indeed, this is the true thing. It's been a while since I've seen this. Thank you for bringing it back to me. Quite lovely. Now, little one, I would see your face. Remove that visage.
Certainly, madam. Then he will take off the mask and sweep his luscious goblin locks back, bow once again, and then may I have the honor to introduce my companions, the mighty Upior, the mighty Wolfherd, and this wretched thing, Gangrene, and our esteemed companion, the Lady Elizabeth.
Welcome all. And she kind of looks at all of you without blinking, and you see that there's no emotion at all in the eyes, despite her voice betraying a great deal of warmth and kindness. Upior, Wolfherd, and we have Elizabeth and Gangrene. Okay, so Upior and Wolfherd, what are your charismas?
A 10.
A 10? That's it?
This is a 10. I've got you one. I'm a 9.
A 9. Okay. All right. She
I'm a 13.
She looks at all of you are such a handsome and beautiful bunch. The poor lot of you trapped in these dungeons, toiling away for scraps of treasure. Surely you could find much better use for such good looks as yours out in the wide world.
When she says that, I'm going to I'm still just in a robe. So I'm gonna kind of glance, knowing she's watching us, only with my eyes, glance at the sort of like naked men who are lounging about. I'm gonna sort of raise the chest and let my forearms get extravascular, and kind of my robe slip down to my shoulder, and I say, indeed, and kind of lean like this with it, but still holding it, kind of like, almost like a deep bow, but I'm fully just holding this chest and then go back up.
You know she's
Master.
going to make you mate with a pig or something, right? Like,
Scleros, my most trusted servant, how could you allow this master conjurer to be the one to hoist this massive chest this entire time? Put it down, sir.
Upon your request, anything. And I'll lower it down. But again, just vascular, as slow as possible. It's almost like you're just a really restrained display of strength. And then just ever so gently, as if a whisper, let it touch upon the ground to show the delicacy and let go.
Okay, cool. You see her eyes like are resting on the chest, like a little bit like inquisitively, right? And she says, she then she kind of snaps out of it, and she snaps her fingers, and she says, "Rustinius, the chest, please." And one of the naked slaves kind of comes over and drags it away, sort of out of the just out of the middle of the room, and then she looks over at one of the other naked men, and she says, "Jason," and she calls him over, and naked Jason comes over with a huge palm leaf and just starts to fan her. Just right, and she idly sort of partakes in a couple of mushrooms that she sort of pops into her mouth, and she says, "Rustinius, when you are finished with that chest, please pour our guests some of our mead. You'll partake with me, of course, as a sign of good faith."
I humbly beg your forgiveness, madam. We have far too serious work on our minds to partake of mead or anything else. I wish only to discuss my role here as ambassador.
Ah, a businessman, I see. I can admire
Indeed.
that. I surely can't convince you to partake, perhaps.
Your generosity is spoken throughout all of Arden Vul, but no, thank you.
Very well. She sort of like pushes a dog off that just sort of hopped up onto the bed a little bit, right? There are like goats like moving like around, like butting up against your legs and things like that, right? All this is like very, very odd,
I'll say.
So
a bit. It's just
when you when she kind of draws your attention to what she's offering you, she pointed. So there are 5 tripods where there are bubbling cauldrons that are hanging from these tripods, even though you can't see that there's any source of heat, yet they are obviously bubbling and boiling. So she indicated for Rustinus to offer you mead from the second tripod, and you can see that it's a syrupy golden concoction of some sort. Okay, smells wonderful. All of them actually smell pretty good. Another tripod contains some sort of meat stew. There's another one that is appears to be the consistency and color of wine, like a purplish liquor of some sort. It gives off a faint odor of blackberries and wild game, yet also granite. Like it has like a weird mineral smell to it as well. There is another tripod that has a thick, viscous yogurt-like substance that smells of pine nuts. And the last one is a thin, watery, whitish liquid that smells like mint and pepper. All right, so that's sort of what you've got in those 5 tripods. Let's see. Yeah, armoire, got all that. Okay, good. All right, yeah. So continue on. So you bring terms, Mortis. What exactly does the king propose?
Oh, great one.
Mother, please.
Certainly. Thank you. Mother, King Weskinum offers his hand in friendship to Mother and all the beastmen of her nation. He asks very little. He is willing to recognize all the territories currently occupied by the beastmen and requests that goblin and beastmen may come and go without being accosted, and that the beastmen shall have passage to the exterior by way of the Goblin lands. In return, he requests the removal of the barricade, which I'm sure, if you are not aware of it, Count Scleros will be able to enlighten you as to which barricade we mean. Asks then that the neutral zone in which Goblin and Beastmen may meet would be the Great Hall, and that the Beastmen would cede to the Goblins those rooms to the east of the Great Hall. Of course, your greatness will understand that this is our first conversation. This is what the king asks.
She thinks a little bit as she smiles as you're kind of talking to her. She makes eye contact with Scleros. Scleros looks right back at her, but doesn't give anything away. And she says, "I'm not." What did she say?
I'm going to give you some time to think, John, and I'll do this. In addition, great mother, as a personal gift from myself and my comrades, that we entreat upon you to understand that we are acting as ambassadors for the Goblin Nation, but we ourselves do not involve ourselves directly in the feuds or friendships between the Beastmen and the Goblin peoples. We offer you this gift in our own name, this chest of gold, for you from us. And should there be a failing of the friendships between those two peoples, we humbly request that you leave us out of it.
She raises her eyebrows and she says, that is quite an offer. Now, I myself, of course, have no need of gold. Scleros, of course, could we find use for this? Yes, mother, we certainly could. Then I will leave it to you, Count.
It is said that troopers love gold almost more than anything.
May I offer a suggestion, kindly, mistress?
Please, continue.
Perhaps you might melt this gold down that they may make an effigy that is but a fraction in beauty to that which you possess.
Oh,
Certainly more
like
useful than simple coins.
That is a good idea. And you see Count Scleros is like raises up like one hand, like, we could, and she's like, and she just kind of stares at him like, don't say anything. She says, I like that idea very much. In fact, I like the words that you were using there, Master Velis. Would you care for a drink, perhaps? We could discuss this more. Why don't you have a seat?
David, devil, John.
Why don't you have a seat right here next to me? And she like suggestively moves, a little bit,
Would you say she's languid, John?
She is. She's very languid. She's very attractive.
Wolford elbow him. I think she likes you.
Upior will say, a seat next to you would be a great honor, mistress. May that I take it without drinking, I shall. But if drinking is the only option you provide, I shall.
Yeah, what?
Don't do it.
I gave her a riddle. I'm sorry, John. I thought a riddle, but I said, fuck, what did I just say, guys? I thought it was pretty
basically,
good.
if I can sit down next to you without drinking, I will. But if I can't sit down, I'll take a drink. Is that what you said?
It's precisely what I said, but in a very lyrical way. But I framed it in a way in which I wanted to explicitly see if she would command me to, or would keep her sort of demure, coy attitude about it, John. So I basically said
she remains coy. She remains coy, and she looks disappointed that you'd rather not take the drink, but she'll be happy to have you on the bed.
I won't. Then my point is I haven't explicitly said I won't. You know what I mean? Like I'm being coy back at her, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, she likes it. I'm not good at playing coy myself.
No, it's okay. What can I?
Weird.
Yes, but audience members who said they didn't like poor Misoface's crush on one tall Sunscard knight are getting it real good right now. No, what I will do is I will, again, as gracefully as I can, sort of like take long slow steps up to her and settle next to her and grab the glass of wine. And I say, but I will cheers. Not cheers. And I'll sort of sniff it like this. Can I do that?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
what a bouquet. What am I smelling? You know?
The smell is nothing compared to the taste upon your lips. Please drink.
What is Scleros's face looking like right now? I'm not trying to fuck us, by the way.
His eyes are wide and they're locked like right on yours, and he's just like a firm line across his jowls. His dog just looking at you like real hard.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you for your generosity. That I may drink this next time when I have more time to leisure at your side.
And she pouts, right? Look, she said, very well, but she's looking at you, and you just like the cold, dark, serpent-like eyes just staring right at you, I'm gonna remain seated next to her, but I'm gonna lean as casually as I can, though I have fear in my heart, and meet her gaze and sort of, next to her like this. Right, sure. Let that robe slip a little further down the shoulder. She puts a very possessive arm around your shoulders. Sure. And the other arm sort of reaches across, and she actually snaps her fingers, and a goat, like a full-on goat, hops up onto the bed and curls up onto her side, and she just slowly sort of strokes the brow of the goat right between its horns, just idly. And she, at the same time, with her other arm, she's sort of gently stroking your shoulder in a weird sort of same way. I imagine. Right? Precisely the information I was looking to gain, John. Thank you. As she is gazing now, she turns her attention back to Mort. She says, I don't particularly like the request by the king. I don't blame you, of course, Mortis. But the king's request to divest from the guard outpost outside the Great Hall. But I do think the other terms are acceptable, and far be it from me to be the fly in the ointment of a peace treaty. I think that these terms are acceptable.
With the exception of the divestment.
No, the divestment, we shall do it as a sign of good faith for the king, towards the king. Even though it puts us at a little bit of a disadvantage, I do think that peace between our peoples is worth it and will eventually actually increase the power of both, I believe. And having that access outside the pyramid would be of great use to my men. Is that right, Scleros? Indeed, lady, you are correct.
John, sorry. While this is going on, could I spend some time as subtly as I can inspecting her, looking upon the nape of her neck, looking upon her her wrists for jewelry, for any aberrations that might seem non-human, scales, textures, a certain shine to the
question.
skin?
So her skin, first of all, is like a nut brown. So it's the closest that you've actually seen of a skin tone like this would be the Kumus people, right? Like Darius had this sort of skin tone. Although the shape of the eyes does not indicate that she is actually Kumus. In fact, it's very, very difficult to pin down her ethnicity. She appears in all shapes, in other ways, to be human. But when you're this close to her, you can see that though her skin is smooth and quite beautiful, it appears unnaturally fragile, as if it's sort of stretched a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Oh yes, I know what you mean.
It's yeah. So you already got a weird vibe off her to begin with, but it kind of confirms it. Now her scent coming off of her is quite pleasant. Like it's like a very subtle sort of perfume that kind of permeates the entire room. Now,
are there any objects like weapons hidden behind her, about her in a way that are more discreet? You know what I mean? I'm like really like looking. Okay, nothing like that.
It appears just to be a normal bed. Yeah. She's just doing her thing. Okay. So we're getting close to the end of the session. So I'm gonna kind of drop the voice a little bit and kind of get to what she's gonna tell you and terms and all that sort of stuff. So the deal is now officially sealed. What she wants to do is she actually orders this. You don't really have a say in it, really, unless you just flat out refuse, which good luck. But she says that she wants to honor this alliance with an official like meeting, like a party, basically, like a celebration. And she says she can think of no better place to have this than in the Great Hall, which is now according to the terms, will be divested by the beastmen, will no longer be fought over as some sort of no man's land sort of thing. The gargoyles, according to Count Scleros, have all been destroyed, so it is safe. And she says it is the perfect place to actually, that our two kinds to actually meet and seal this with revelry and merriment, and let's have a party. You guys are of course invited, and she demands that this be set into motion. She will send her own messengers down to the Goblin King to relay this, unless you guys yourself wish to do it as well. But she wants to. Where did I had it here? On the 14th of Gelenios, she wishes this to take place. Okay, it is the 10th right now, and she expects King West Keenum to attend, for she herself will be in attendance as well. And Count Scleros actually looked like his eyes widen when he hears that, because it's very rare for Dano to leave the chambers.
Okay.
I would also tell you two more. Whenever you relay the terms and you keep referring to her people as beastmen, she actually corrects you the first time you do that in a nice way. But she says she would like you to refer to them as the children of Dano. Not as beastmen, such a crude term, she says.
It is indeed, and you have my deepest apologies. The children of Dano, it shall be henceforth, a far more dignified and respectable name. I humbly apologize.
She takes a couple of pieces of fruit from the table as she kind of says that, and she throws one at one of the human naked slaves, who catches it and eats it. She throws another one to one of the dogs, who snags it out of the air, and she throws another one to Scleros, who also catches it in his mouth, all in the same manner as if she's doling out treats.
Right. Okay.
John,
so
one more thing before we go. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
After watching this, I'd like to turn and say, Mistress, it is customary. Thank you for your deals. It is customary amongst my people, for though the gifts we bring are of great import to politics, they are not intimate in their nature. And I wonder, perhaps, if I might bestow a favor upon you, that I might seek your audience in the future. I'm going to pluck the ion stone from above my head, and I'm going to hand it like this and see if she'll take it.
What does the ion stone do?
Gives you an extra wisdom. I mean, it hovers around your head, but it's
really not working.
Are you trying to deceive her into thinking that it's like a communication device?
No, I'm just giving her an ion stone as a favor, as like a gift to the lady, like a tradition of like a monarchic gift, but like a personal gift, a favor.
Oh, she says
from myself to her.
My favorite. She takes it and kind of snuggles you a little bit closer against her side. I must insist, Mortis, that you leave this one with me. But let me just get through this, because it is quitting time.
Sorry, John. But I did say it because I wanted to ask if she would say yes to an audience with her in the future.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so she gets kind of coy about that. She says, "You, of course, as the ambassadors of the king, are welcome inside of our chambers at any time. I would ask, of course, that I may be otherwise indisposed." She smiles, but so I would ask that you speak with the count or one of his minions before you approach.
Of course.
But of course, you're not leaving anytime soon.
Shame that I would, shame that I must, but I will be back.
We'll talk about that later. But so this is what, so she's going to tell you a couple of things here. So I'm just going to rattle them off real quick. I'm sorry, I have to kind of do it out of context. But so she tells you this, Taltos the Natty, who is the leader of the LRCP, right? The Long Range Cavern Patrol, the rat company, right? The elite commandos, the guy that goes, remember that? Yep. He's been occupied with finding the missing banda that has gone lost. Scleros told you about this before.
Yep.
She has very few men that she can spare to haul the golden mead, and she indicates the tripod that she was trying to foist upon you guys. she says, I have very few men that I can spare to haul the quantities of golden mead that dear old man, Thagan Whitemane, so greatly desires. You know of him, of course, the proprietor of the Inn of the Lost.
Oh, yes.
It would be of great service to me if perhaps you could bring some of this mead to him. If you have yet to actually been at the inn, I highly recommend it. A wonderful place to stay. At least that's what I've heard. She kind of laughs, and she asks for the official meeting and celebration. We got through that. She reinforces very strongly what Scleros had told you as well. She goes, I greatly desire mushrooms of a certain type, quite large, larger than a human being, cloud cap mushrooms, in volume if you can find it. That would be of great use to me. And she's also reinforces that she herself is also looking for the remains of Gennadius and Rex, the progenitors of the beastmen themselves. Which reinforces that it wasn't just Scleros, like just beastmen who want that. Dano also wants that as well.
Right.
And she also offhandedly mentions, she kind of does it like it's a frittering away sort of thing, that she would greatly appreciate any intelligence you might have on the movements and motivations of the so-called cult of Set. She goes, I view them as the real lurking threat on this level of the halls. She says, if you can give me useful information upon them, perhaps we can share that with the king and join forces against the cult. Unless, of course, you have dealings with them, in which case we'll take care of it ourselves. Thank you very much.
Cult of Set are no friends of the AV Club, my lady.
Ah, that is good to hear. So, yes, if you have anything, please tell the Count. He'll relay it to me. Now, rewards. She's very pleased with what you've done, as you are the facilitators of this alliance. She is going to give you, she has knowledge, although no reason to use it, which you kind of find a little bit odd, of the addresses of 3 teleportation circles. She has one. Again, she has not visited them herself, but according to the records that she has she has these. She has heard that they lead to these places. One leads to what is called the palace's sitting room, and she gives you like a sequence of tiles. We don't have to run them down right now. The ancient archon's palace, in the palace, he had a sitting room. We'll take you there directly. This kind of rings a bell a little bit about a palace that you may have been many moons ago. With a certain solarium and a certain shambling mound.
Yes.
Adding it to the listed Arden notes.
Another one.
Palace sitting room. Okay.
Is probably inconsequential. You probably won't need it, she says dismissively. But it is in a basement of an administration building for the Arcontians. Once upon a time.
This is the second one?
Second one, yep.
The administration basement.
Yep. And the other one is for a place called the Hall of Seeing, which, according to the books that I've read, is a relatively small chamber where the ceiling is painted as if it reflects the actual night sky.
Yes, that's in our secret hallway.
She actually gets a little bit reflective, and she's like, it's been so long since I've seen the night sky. So long. And then she directs, she kind of cleans up the meeting. She directs Scleros to show you the main entrance to the fungal caverns to the south. All right. And she also directs Scleros to provide those tools and knowledge that he may have for you to navigate the fungal caverns as well. And to give you as much guidance as he possibly can without actually endangering himself. He kind of has to remain around here to kind of point you in the direction of where that secret exit is out on the cliffs of Arden Vul.
Sweet.
Okay. As
Do I have
promised.
time for a quick question, John?
Yeah.
Likewise.
Okay. My lady, forgive me, you have mentioned, as has Count Scleros many times, the cloud-cap mushrooms. We had heard tell of the fungal caverns and presumed that indeed was the source of these mushrooms. Are we wrong? And do they grow somewhere else, or do you have no access to them at all?
They are native to the halls themselves, and yes, they grow in abundance in the fungal caverns, but they are not the only mushrooms there. The caverns themselves are not without their dangers. Therefore, we usually assign our most elite troops, the long-range cavern patrol, under the command of Taltos the Natty, to procure them.
Good old Natty Taltos.
Mm-hmm.
Milady, might this be extract or powder from those mushrooms? And I'm going to take the snuff box.
Good timing.
And open the snuff box.
Yeah, Wolford will hold it out.
Oh, sorry, Wolford. I thought it was in the chest. Yeah.
Aren't you a feisty one? She looks at Wolford for a little while.
They told me to be really polite, so I'm doing my best.
Approach, you rascal, you.
Well, it's been a few years since anybody called me that, but sure.
She takes
bring it up and hold it to her.
She kind of pats you on the head, even though she looks like she's like 20 years younger than you. And she takes it and she sniffs it a little bit, and she's nah. This is not the powder this is not the mushroom based.
Oh,
well,
we were so
sorry
hopeful
about that. Then.
This will cloud your mind. I strongly urge you to get rid of it or feed it to your enemy, something like that.
Does it smell anything like the wine she offered me?
She just immediately dismisses it as like not what she's looking for.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Just close it and take it back.
Okay, so that we can dive more into this next session if you want to go through the finer points of what she's presenting. If you want to talk to her some more, we should definitely pick that up next time. So we'll just start in media res in Dano's chamber next time. But the bulk of what she wanted to offer you has been done, and congratulations, you have officially sealed the Beastmen Goblin Alliance. That is now a real thing. It does not actually require this celebration that she wants. That's more like a symbolic thing. But just be aware, and you are invited. You do not have to go, but you can mark that date on your calendars and RSVP if you wish to, because you will have two faction leaders in attendance in each other's presence. Right? It's a very, 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 very rare thing to occur in the halls of Arden Vul, which you guys have facilitated. So congratulations, well done.
Interesting.
Okay, we will call it a night. So, thank you everyone for watching and listening. This has been 3D6. Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification hit the bell icon for all the notifications about when we post new material. Please don't forget that you can also sign up for our Patreon. Lots of cool benefits on there as well as access to our free and publicly available Discord server, where we have lots of really cool talk going on all hours of the day. And our biggest thanks go out to our highest tier Patreon level, our Conquerors. David, take it away with who those wonderful people are.
Hello, Conquerors, and thank you. As always, if we could all share a cup of the ladies' wine with you, we would. To our newest Conqueror, Mercury 605, thank you for joining us. And to the rest of you, Ruben D. Collar, Dave Rosser Jr., Andrew, Hannes Burnkammer, I should say. I can't do worse than Ted, guys. Hold on. Hold on, I just got real nervous.
That's a hard one.
I
don't
real
even know
confident. Dakota Nielsen, Horace of Oz, Cam, Stephen Q, Brad and Aiden, the Logan family, Kabrowskis, Declan Koniski, Chad Cartier, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, G Tokyo Time, Terry Barney, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Facial, James Doik, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, the Hex Brawler Twins, Summon Toast, Adam the DM, Jib Cutter, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, not Matt but not least, and the rest of our Matt crew, Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Again, thank you all very, very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Conquerors. We really appreciate it. And all of our patrons as well. Thank you so much for your continued support. Everyone, have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks, John.
Yeah. Thank you, John.